Hey guys, welcome back to Mondays at the Museum. I'm Carrie and I'm here at the Anna Bemis Palmer Museum in York, Nebraska. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about Roy Tucker, and I'm going to walk you through the just massive collection of paintings that we have by this local artist. Um, Roy Tucker was born William Ray Tucker, but he preferred Roy, on September 16th, 1895. He joined the Army and he served from 1917 to 1919. Roy is a really big name around here because if you're from Nebraska, you know that agriculture is a really big deal. And he actually was one of the founders of the York County Agricultural Society, and he also helped found the first 4-H club here in town. So Roy had a lot of jobs over the years. He was a cattle buyer, a sale barn owner, a Legion commander, an avid painter, which we're going to talk about later on today. But he also worked for the livestock sales company for 44 years, which is just a huge accomplishment. And he retired in 1966. He earned a lot of different awards throughout his lifetime, but the two of the bigger ones were the Service to Mankind Award from the York Sertoma Club in 1969 and the Silver Clover 4-H Award, like I said, amongst many others. So Tucker passed away at the age of 76 on November 10th, 1971, and he is buried here in town in Greenwood Cemetery. And like I said, we have several Tucker paintings up in our artwork exhibition in the painting section, and I'm going to walk you through them all. And I do have stories and extended details on most of them, but if I were to go painting by painting and talk 5 minutes about each, I know that you would be rolling your eyes probably by the third or fourth. So if you want more details on them, you're just going to have to come and see them in person. But luckily, you have all summer because the artwork exhibition runs until August 2nd. So here we go. So all of these paintings except one were done by Roy Tucker. They're not hung up in any particular order, just sort of where they fit on the wall, but we're going to go through one by one. So starting with, all right, this one is called The Black Hills. It was painted by Tucker in 1968 and it was donated by Dick Brooke. Here we have the original Cornhusker, which Tucker did in 1967, and then he himself donated this. This is one of my favorites. It is the early school bus. He painted it in 1966 and then again donated it himself. Here we have Wyoming Wild Horses, which he painted in 1970, and it was donated by Ann Foster. You can sense the theme, right? A lot of Western art. This is Barefoot Boy, which he painted in 1967 and then donated himself. And yes, he is in fact barefoot. This is another one of my favorites just because the colors and everything with the horses and everything, I just think that's so neat. It is called The Freight Wagon, and he painted it in 1966 and then donated it himself. This one is the York County Public Square, which he painted in 1967 and then donated himself. If it fits in our History of York County display, I do plan to keep this one up just because of the historical accuracy of that one. I mean, several of these are historically accurate, and they are historical moments if you know the stories behind them. Like I said, I am happy to explain them if you come in person, but I can only keep up so many. This is Black Angus Supremacy. He painted it in 1967, and it was donated by Ann Foster. This one is untitled, but it's sort of a cowboy scene, and it was donated by Dorothy Lind Trust. Here we have Buffalo Wallow, which he painted in 1966, and this was donated by Roy himself. This one is called Mennonite Immigrant House. It was painted by Tucker in 1968, and then he donated it as well. This is Nebraska State Park, which he completed in 1968, It was donated by Anne LeMay and Catherine Cotter. Just really cool coloring on the trees there. Here is Grazing Sheep, and it was donated by Dick Brook. Up here is Deserted Farmhouse, which he painted in 1966 and then donated by himself. This one's called The Soddy and the Monarch. He painted it in 1966 and then donated it himself. Really cool sod house there, although it looks like it's seen better days. Here is The Riders, again painted in 1966. He was busy in 1966, and then donated by himself. A lot of details in that one. This one's called Porcupine Ranch, and it was donated by Roy himself. Not a frame for this one, though. Another smaller, unframed one. This one is called Jack Smith Ranch. You can see in this one he actually gives credit to a secondary, Tucker and Pfeffer. Here we have an untitled night river scene. It was donated by Jolene Allen. Again, no frame on this one. Very dark. Okay, so this one doesn't match anything else, which is why I saved it for last. So he did this one in his childhood. It's of a collie dog. It is painted around 1910, but was donated by Jane Drever. Okay, and then last one on the wall. So you guys know how when your parents are incredibly talented at something, that you're kind of expected to carry on that talent. So Roy had a son named Windsor, and the people that knew them both actually said that of the two, Windsor was more talented at painting, but Windsor just didn't hold the love for it like Roy did, so he only did a few pieces, and we're very lucky to have one of these. So you can see really cool details there, and so the difference being you've got Roy's signature here, Tucker. Windsor, he added the W there. So that is our collection of Roy Tucker plus one Windsor Tucker paintings that are up in our artwork exhibition. Again, the exhibit is up until August 2nd, so if you want to see them in person or if you want more details, absolutely swing by before August 2nd. Just as a reminder, we do have some upcoming programming coming up. June 15th, there is the outdoor photography class at Harrison Park. July 6th, we're going to be here at the museum, and that is an art history class. And then July 20th, we're also going to be back here at the museum for music history class. So stay tuned to our social media. More details will be announced soon. We hope you have a good week.